Okay guys, welcome to another video today, and today is going to be a real simple one. Simple but impactful. I'm all about the low-hanging fruit. Why? Because I know it's achievable. When most of us are trying to go out for these big, huge goals, we're trying to reach for the stars, and often we are disappointed. We're disappointed because we're not getting traction. We do something that's not sustainable. We go to the gym, we want to gain weight, lose weight, get body. We get there and we feel this soreness and we don't want to go back because now we've associated all this pain to things. We associated pain to the gym rather than pleasure. So I figured this out a while back that if I did things that were really simple and sustainable that I know I'm getting traction on, my mind started to associate pleasure to that. I'm like, wow, you know what? I can do this. This is easy. And I've seen results. Real, tangible results. So what I'm going to share with you today is nothing new. It's been around for probably 50, 60 years. But this concept is something that I don't see people doing as often as they should. Maybe you've done it in the past. You've done it once a year. I'm suggesting that we do this once a week or at the least once a month to get the 1,000-foot view of your life. Where are you in the different areas? So back here, I've kind of blanked all this out because I want to give and direct your focus to each area. Now, as I reveal all the areas here, they're not in a sequence. There's no hierarchy to them per se. I put them out in the hierarchy that works for me. So before we begin, I want you to take a moment and just grab a pen, grab a piece of paper, or at the least, follow me through here and try to eliminate any distractions and ask yourself these questions as we go along. It'll be a quick process. It won't be too difficult, and I think you'll follow through really easily. So it's not something that's supposed to rack your brain too hard. So let's go and reveal number one, the first area. The first area we have here is intimate relationships. Now, some of you may be saying, I'm not in an intimate relationship, I'm just going to fast forward. Before you do that, just a moment, if you're not in an intimate relationship, do you want an intimate relationship? Maybe you're saying to yourself, I don't want an intimate relationship, it's not for me. Well, I'll challenge you that if you don't want an intimate relationship and you're 100% certain about that, then go ahead, permission to fast forward. But if you are seeking one, then follow with us here just for a moment. In intimate relationships, I want you to really look at this for just a moment. Ask yourself, where are you? On a 1 to 10 scale, 1 being I am dying to be in an intimate relationship. I can't wait to meet that other person. I can't wait to meet that other half. And a 10 being I am living the life of my dreams. My partner is the person, that's the person I believe, my destiny. We are every day waking up and enjoying every single moment. We can't split off from each other. We want to be with each other constantly, day in and day out. Quickly answer this question. Are you a 10? Are you a 1? Maybe you're a 5, maybe you're a 6. Wherever it is for you, just quickly answer this question and put a number here. Once you've done that and completed that, we're going to move to the next one. The next area of life I'm going to reveal here is health and wellness. Health and wellness, what does that mean? Now, you may be saying, well, I'm healthy because I'm disease-free. That's awesome. Being disease-free is definitely something to celebrate. But I want to go beyond just your typical being disease-free. I'm talking about vibrancy, energy, feeling good, going throughout the day and not being dependent on stimulants, looking at life and saying, wow, I feel amazing. When I get up in the morning, yeah, maybe I struggle to a little bit get out of bed, but once my day gets going, you go all day feeling wonderful. You have this energy to sustain a day. You're not crashing at 3 o'clock and looking for that next cup of coffee or that Red Bull. You really say to yourself, I feel fantastic. You have the body that you've dreamt about, or you've got the energy that you've wanted. Because without energy, it's really hard to feel happiness. It's hard to feel the flow when you're struggling to get up and move. So look at this area of your life and ask yourself, where are you? from a 1 to 10? Are you a couch potato, barely getting out of, moving from the couch? Are you living the life of your dreams and you're working out every day and you're feeling fantastic and you realize maybe there is no areas for improvement because you are a 10. If you are, that's awesome. Put a 10 there. And be honest with yourself. This is all about honesty here. No one is going to look at your paper. This isn't about impressing the next person over next to you. This is about you. So be honest with yourself here and ask yourself, where am I in health and wellness? The next area here, an area where there's often a lot of pain. Finances. Money, right? Money is a very sensitive subject because we all think we don't have enough of it, that we could use more. And there's some truth to that there's never enough money, we want to think. But the reality is that ask yourself this question: are you sloppy with your money? Do you have systems in place? Are you have automation in place? Are you making the money you feel you deserve? Are you just making the money that getting you by? What do you need to do here to help increase this figure, this number, so that you're living at a 7, 8, 9, or 10? It's not always about, I have to make $1 million, otherwise I'm going to be happy. Think about where you are in this area and give yourself a real honest answer. Give yourself an honest answer in finances. Where are you? Think about this question, because this question here often has a lot to do with relationships. Yes, it's probably the first or second reason why a lot of relationships fall apart, but they have a lot in common here: relationships and finances. So answer this question. It's not about coming up with the solution right now, but just to see where you're at. That's what this process is about. It's an evaluation, a real honest evaluation. The next area here in life is work and mission. Are you struggling to get up out of bed to go to the job? Are you just working for a paycheck? Maybe you're just at a job that's all you knew and you're unhappy. There's often the conversation about doing what you're passionate about. And it's controversial because I don't necessarily know it has to be always a passion and you should run after that. But think about what you're doing for work. If you find a dread, if it's dreadful and you're going to work and you're just miserably unhappy, maybe it's time to look at another option. Find yourself something else that you won't carry that dread to work. Work and mission, really important. I see a lot of people that are dragging their butts to work just because they got to make ends meet. Or maybe because they get compensated really well, but they're stressed out. And this right here is also heavily related to your intimate relationships and even your health. All of these are going to correlate with one another. You can't necessarily separate one area from the other. And this is where the challenge comes in, where people go, I'm going to focus on, getting this incredible job that pays really, really well, but they have no time for themselves and their health and wellness, and their relationships suffer for that. You got to find the balance. And the balance isn't always a perfect balance, but there has to be some yin and yang to this. We're going to move on to the next area quickly here. Friends and family. Friends and family, or look at it as social, if it's always about your relationships with your lover or your partner, and you don't have a life outside of that, maybe your partner feels like you're a little clingy, or you're just not giving them the space to breathe. Having friends and family can be a really phenomenal support to help you kind of go back and forth and have conversations about what's happening in life. They're there to kind of give you guidance and advice. But keeping a small group, let's say, like your cabinet, your really close family and friends, people you know that you can make that call at 3 a.m. when you're down and out and they're going to pick up the phone. When you're struggling somewhere and you need some help and they're going to come out there and whatever you need. Maybe it's a loan, maybe it's someone needs to give you a ride somewhere. Friends and family are a critical component to LifeFlow. I don't have a lot of friends and we don't have a massive five family, but there are certain people that I know I can depend on, and they have been some of the greatest gifts to me in my life. And a lot of them are from, brothers from another mother, I call them. And I'm so thankful for them because without them, I don't know where my life would have been when there was challenges in all of these areas of my life. But I would come to my friends and family to help give me some guidance and advice, to get me back on track in these areas. Massive. So give yourself a real honest assessment in friends and family. Where are you 1 to 10? Moving on to the next area here is adventure and fun. This is one of my favorites. Adventure and fun, whew, you see me light up because that's what it's all about. For me, it's about adventure and fun. I'm going to work really hard, make good money as much as I possibly can, keeping balance, maintaining my health so that I have the vibrancy and energy, and then connect it with the adventure and fun that I can spend with my wife and my kids and have an amazing time, even with my friends and family. This is what I live for. I live for the adventure and fun. But it's not always about adventure and fun. There's like a percentage here. You say, where are you spending this time? How do you really balance all these areas out? But I live for adventure and fun. I've done all kinds of adventures and traveled around the world. It doesn't always have to be expensive or some complicated, planned out trip. It could be something as simple as going to the beach, watching the sunset maybe you live near the coast, or taking a day out and just enjoying nature. But adventure and fun is a really critical component to give you the juice. Why are you doing all of this for? What is the reason why you work so hard and you're trying to make money? And how do you celebrate it? So I call this my celebration as well. Adventure and fun is where I celebrate my life. And I say do something small every day in this area. You're like, well, maybe adventure and fun might not be something you can figure every day, but I'm talking about small things, something small. We have a trampoline back here. My son and I will just jump on that sometimes, and that's fun for me. Or riding the bike around the neighborhood might be fun. Bigger things are the planned trips I do once a month to go somewhere, take a couple days away to Disney World if I can. It doesn't always have to be about money. There's a lot of free things, museums, and walks in nature you can do. So adventure and fun. If you're not having adventure and fun, a lot of this will just kind of crash. So I really highly suggest you look into this area and see where are you in this area right now. The last area kind of ties it all together. Yeah, I did say there's not a hierarchy in this, but I personally like to look at this and say, how do I tie all of this together? When you're struggling maybe in your relationships, they're not going well, maybe health and wellness, you're just not feeling the energy. You're working out hard, you're eating healthy, but you're still not feeling it. Financially, there's tough times. I understand. There's times that come that maybe you were hit with something and it was a surprise and you didn't have the resources and you're trying to figure things out, but your mind is causing you to feel stressed out. Things at work can be crazy. Maybe right now there's a lot of demand on you. If you're a high achiever or high performer and you're not integrating all these areas, work can be a place where it could drain you. Friends and family, maybe you're not connecting with friends and family and you feel just really lonely and you're not really getting the necessity you need to really bring you to that level of happiness that you're seeking. Or adventure and fun, you haven't taken a trip, haven't done anything in months. It's been months. Or maybe years possibly, and you're feeling drained. You're not celebrating. This is something that could tie it all together, and that is mind and spirit. Now, mind and spirit, this is an area of life that I went probably 35 years of my life where I didn't practice mindfulness or meditation or visualization, none of that. And I was having a hard time where, even though I was doing all of these, and I had pretty good scores here, but this area here, this was an area that it was a missing piece, the missing piece. And whether you're atheist, agnostic, or you're religious, it doesn't matter, because this is not about praying or opening a book. It could be, if that's what you want, but it could just be taking 10 minutes, 15 minutes a day, even 5 minutes, and just saying to yourself, let me close my eyes and collect myself. Maybe it's an open eye process, and you put on some music that just kind of open up the valve and release. But it's so critical that you take this time and build a strong mind, build the spirit, because this is a mind, body, and spirit whole process here. You bring all of these together and you really see achieving, high scores in these areas. Ultimately, you're going to feel LifeFlow. LifeFlow here is having all these areas. Maybe you're a 7 here and an 8. Maybe here you're a 6. Maybe here you're a 9. Maybe here you're a 6 as well. Maybe here you're a 7. Maybe here you're a 9. Taking all these areas and then coming up with your LifeFlow score. I'm not asking you to take your temperature, and go, okay, let me check every single week, where am I? But I'm asking you to just evaluate, because these may go up and down. You may spend a week and you're strictly focused on your finances and you forgot about all these other areas of your life. You may have spent all week working really hard because they needed you at work, and you neglected health, you neglected relationships. This is allowing you to keep things in check, at least to have the conversation with your spouse or your husband, your wife, and say, okay, you know what, I've got a really tough week at work, and so I'm gonna need your support, and understand if it's health and wellness and you're not able to get to the gym every day, hitting 10 or 15, 20 push-ups, doing some wall squats, walking around the block, riding the bike, doing something small. Even when I am traveling and I'm out doing any kind of events or consulting work, I may not have hit the gym every day, but I do get on the floor and I put push-ups out, do some wall squats or anything, just to get my body in motion. It's really critical to sustain my energy. So looking at all of this and taking the assessment and saying, where's my LifeFlow score this week? So I hope all of this will help you. This is a fast track process. Normally this will take, a few hours, and once we have our scores, we'll go into some questions, which I'll lead to a future video where we'll go a little deeper and we'll ask the questions. So in these areas, we can ask the quality questions on how we get to where we need to be. I wouldn't shoot for 10s all the way across it just immediately. I would make small changes, really small. Go for the low-hanging fruit and watch your life gradually and sustainably make the changes so that you can live the life that you deserve. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and like always, with love and gratitude, go out, live your life, and find your LifeFlow.